The Mystery of Medjugorje, Saving America with Saints by Rance DeWitt. How St. John Paul can save America is told from how he and our American saint, Ronald Reagan, saved Russia and America from each other. Now, the new fulcrum for salvation balances on this message from Medjugorje. So learn how our two saints can save America from the predications of revelations and the state of the world as it is now forming with the final Islamic overthrow of Europe. Most importantly is why America has a separate destiny and reality away from the old world to the new world with Christ. The author became a born-again Christian in 1970, co-sharing with Franklin Graham at that same time when the born-again revelation experience was present in America. He was raised in the Greek Orthodox Church, yet attending all the denominational churches in Dallas, then moving to the Pacific Northwest at age 30, and later was baptized by the bishop after studying 2 years with the Mormons. Then, on one of many world travels, was invited by Senator Byrd's secretary to join her with a visit with Pope John Paul at a little church outside Christchurch, New Zealand in 1986, where they sat for an hour at the Pope's feet in the yard with a few other persons and witnessed another version of the Fatima event. As a storm from nowhere baptized he, the Pope, and the Bishop with a gusher from the sky. Years later, he would also be baptized by the Archbishop of Ecuador, who oddly was with the Pope a few months after the Christchurch Fatima event. How can he do it? St. John Paul can save America with a spiritual communication that resonates from him following the meeting in Christchurch, New Zealand as a witness in 1986, and with 20 years of reflection, travel, and study that was guided by the Pope. His most important prophecy the Pope gave is that Medjugorje can save America and Russia again from the coming worldwide chaos. So now we begin the story with Guadalupe, Fatima, Akita, and lastly, but not least, Medjugorje. So why America can be saved? Why America has a separate reality from the old world was learned from half a century of listening to sermons from every room denomination in God's house, but also from many travels throughout the old world plus 4 other world travels throughout the South Pacific and Latin America. Not to mention trucking and busing through nearly every country and state from Alaska and Canada to Mexico and Central America and South America to Argentina. This learning curve uses the insight from John Paul and other astute Catholic writers and saints to question the source. The source? The source that is of the revelations given to Mohammed in a cave at Mecca, and the source of revelations given to a man named John in the Patmos cave, not by Jesus, as with Paul, but from a person named Gabriel. The question now is why neither of these two messages from this spirit person called Gabriel applies to America, making the destiny of America separate in the only land and peoples who now can accept the born-again Christ. That is what the return of Christ means. The nature of our quest to this subject is historical and religious, but also scientific and esoteric, because the author, while a regular Protestant, was trained in the Orthodox, Mormon, and Catholic traditions, and also is a Knight of Columbus and a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Mason, with a mechanics degree from junior college, a bachelor's degree in geology at regular college, and other certificates in teaching English as a second language, and working in property management for his broker's associate license. all the while working and traveling in several foreign countries to learn fish farming after being in the Merchant Marines in the Gulf of Mexico and studying at the Texas A&M Sea Grant College. How and why? How and why America, North and South, does not have to be in the worst part of this final judgment, now coming from every corner as prophecy told. This insight is not Bible talk. No, from Protestantism. It is told from history, science, religion, and most important, esoterics. The esoteric base is more than masonry and the knights. It also means discerning the wisdom of the saints, and most particularly St. John Paul, as well as being raised in Mary Baker Eddy's Christian Science environment that included ARE, Edgar Cayce's Association for Research and Enlightenment, an excellent group of fortune tellers, and then studying after high school at the Marine Military Academy at a university in Mexico when and where Don Juan and Carlos Castaneda were out in the hills about somewhere in our region of Tolteca. So imagine Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, waking up in the presence of St. Augustine, Cardinal Ratzinger, Malachi Martin, Ronald Reagan, and Meister Eckhart, and St. John Paul, and then asking them to speak to him of these end times and what can be done to save the remnant Christians in the new world. As Jesus said, the first will be last.